Hello and welcome to my channel. You are with Tanisha Ali of Tanisha's Locks, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. And the Potpourri stands for just about anything. You'll find quite a bit of more varied content on this channel beginning to be uploaded. One of the things I really want to begin to focus on is my new set of videos that will be titled or that will be actually debuting under the banner of Heart, Soul, and Spirit of a True CEO. Exclusive for some, but entrepreneurial content that is focused around pursuing your passion and purpose and taking your soulpreneur enterprise to the next level. Whether you are in the beginning stages of doing this or it's just something, as in a side hustle, or you're already entrenched as an entrepreneur, but you need some extra motivation and maybe looking for some tips and you would like to appreciate being involved in a dialogue of sorts related to some of the concerns that we have as entrepreneurs. So today I wanted to just briefly talk about Sisterlock hair care maintenance. Okay. The ease of maintaining your locks. And I just wanted to briefly touch on some of the things that you want to make sure you do on a regular basis, regardless of how long you have had your locks and where you may be in this journey. I've had my locks for 8.5 years. 8 years. It'll be 8.5 years in January. I love them. They have transformed my life. I have very little maintenance. What you see here is the remnants of a braid out that I took out a little over a week ago. But I want to talk a little bit about maintenance today. First, I want to talk about the basic things that you need to make sure you do. And then I want to talk a little bit about some of my personal experiences with maintaining my locks and the things you want to integrate into your lock care regimen. Now, I right now wash my hair. It's winter time. So I typically push my washings anyway from about 2.5, 3 weeks to as many as 5 or 6 weeks at times. It just depends on what's happening with my scalp. You have to go based on your exercise routine, some of the other demands of your life, and what your hair typically requires. I can always tell based on looking at this section here. This section used to be full of flakes and dandruff when I first got my locks, but I use my essential oil blends, and you can check out my video on that on the channel under hair care tips. And I was able to really totally decimate and wipe out any hair scalp issues I was having. And so I did that all the way up until this past summer or late spring when I decided to go without oil for a while to investigate the impact that it would have on my lint. And so I haven't really been putting any oil in my hair for the last several months. I might have put a tiny bit, maybe 2 or 3 times in just a certain area or something, but I just have not done it. And I plan to probably stick with that into maybe the summer, and then I will get a feel for the effect that that's having on my hair. One thing I can say is that my hair is lighter. It is not as heavy. It used to be heavy to the point to where, as long as it is, I was really getting to a point where I was talking about cutting it because it was hurting my neck. It was carrying a lot of weight, and I never realized that once I had several washings over a period of months of really good washing, that my hair weight would actually be lighter. I gotta tell you, it's much lighter. So that's one advantage of watching the amount of oils that you use or modifying. Even if it's natural oil, I was using a lot every couple of days, a lot of my Miracle-Gro blend, and that's why my hair just continued to grow and grow and grow, and really is longer than this, but I've cut it, I've lost, I've picked the length to the point to where it's uneven and so forth. But my hair, technically, all of my locks should almost be this length. So that has made a significant difference. So in terms of maintaining your hair, if your hair is dry, I would encourage you as much as possible to focus on your scalp and massaging with my essential oil blend that you'll find. You'll need to make it yourself, but I would suggest that. And then I would say, if you are putting the the oil on your hair to make sure that you just put about a quarter size and you really just massage it on each side of your hair. And when you wash, really wash well and make sure that you get that out. The other thing I want to say is there are times where I still braid and band, and I'm really been at this for a long time. I recommend braiding and banding. It took my hair for sure 5 years before it started to compress. And even when I washed it, it still would expand. It's only been more recently, within the last year or so, maybe, where my hair doesn't really expand as much the way it used to. And I'm so grateful for that because it would get so heavy. But I really recommend braiding and banding. I recommend sticking to a wash cycle that makes sense to you. I can count the times in 8 years that I've used any kind of conditioner. I think by and large that is because of the fact that I make my own shampoo. There's a recipe for that also here on the channel, so you'll need to look for that. But making my own shampoo and it already having essential oils in it, I think eliminated the need for me to have to use a conditioner, and it really softened my hair tremendously. And many of you ladies on the channel have written in about that and how helpful it was. Other than that, when I've colored, I've used the conditioner that was a part of the Vidal Sassoon packet or whatever else I might have been using. But other than that, I've not had the need to condition, and I really didn't want to condition. Now, with the extra color, my hair is a little drier than it used to be. It's coming back though, because even with me not having been oiling it for several months, it's starting to feel more like my hair. But overall, I would say, wash with something that is not too harsh on your hair and does not dry it out and strip it, that leaves your hair with some moisture. And if you can, avoid the conditioners, especially heavy conditioners, if you don't have to put them in there, because all they're going to do is get stuck in there and weigh your hair down. The other really important tip that I like to give is to periodically go through your hair, especially prior to a retightening. This is really important. And after you wash, and just make sure you kind of comb through your hair like this, and make sure that your hair is separated, really separated. Some of you who use oil on your hair will just want to make sure that you have some jojoba oil, especially. It's very much a detangler, and just make sure that you smooth it out. That way you make your hair care routine a lot simpler when you go to get your retightening. It's easier on you, there's less snapping, and also it's much easier on your consultant. If your locks are already separated, that's for those of you who wash your own hair. My loctician preferred that I wash my hair before, that I come with it clean. And I always just got in the habit of, when I was going in for retightening, just to wash my hair ahead of time. I just prefer it that way. It took less time, and then I was responsible for the detangling, and I kind of like that. So it does depend on your loctician as well, but that's the other tip that I wanted to give you. Other than that, I would say really keep a handle on the lint. I don't care what anybody tells you. I say this all the time. All you have to do is shake your hair like this, and you're going to see tons of particles fall from your hair. That's a business call I'm going to have to miss. I'll call you back, darling, whoever you are. But shaking your hair out is going to be helpful. In my opinion, you stand to benefit greater by doing this 2 or 3 times during the day than you do covering your hair at night. And I'm very serious about that. Now, cleaning is a different story because you got dust all over. But really, what you're going to pick up in the course of a day, and what you would see on your windowsills and the dust and the skin cells and all of that, is far more a threat to you than the every evening lint. That's if you're sleeping on the right kind of pillow provided, and it's not a light colored pillow, always darker colors and things like that. You will be much better off focusing on that aspect of lint control and just periodically inspecting your locks. And if you see lint, and with this new color, I'm so glad it really dyed some of the lint, whereas the other color that I had that wasn't a rinse, it actually caused me to be able to see the lint more. But this semi-permanent crimson, this stuff is really like it's the strongest dye. It's bleached, it's messed up the counters and stuff. It's taken a while for me to be able to get that off. As a matter of fact, when I wash my hair next, and I think I'm going on 3 to 4 weeks, when I wash my hair next time, I'm definitely going to I'm gonna do it outside. I don't care how cold it is. I'm gonna have a bucket full of hot water, one of those big moving containers, and I'm gonna put my head in that because this was just way too messy. But yeah, the cotton, this helps to cover it up, and so I really like that. And I don't have as much because I'm constantly picking it. And now that I think that the oil, since I've lessened that oil and haven't been using that oil much, every time I was able to see it before I colored my hair, I would just go in and try to get it out. So those are my tips for you in terms of maintaining your sister locks so that they continue to look beautiful. Moisture is a concern, lint is a concern, making sure that you separate your parts before you get your hair done, braiding and banding, keep all of those things in mind, and do what makes your hair feel good and do what your hair likes. Each time you change a routine, give it about 6 months for your hair to kind of get used to it and you to be able to get feedback from your hair. So with Tanisha Ali, thank you very much, beautiful butterflies and perfect people. Stay tuned for more videos and more healing videos and videos on the soul, spirit, and heart of a true CEO entrepreneurial content, which will be forthcoming. Talk to you soon.